Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Do We Know Them, episode 177.
We've made it.
Can I get a whoop whoop? We're very low energy today, girlies. Very low energy.
I'm still sick. It's been like over a week now.
I don't even have an excuse. Today has just whooped my ass for no particular reason. Really quickly, before we start, I realized that I hadn't updated anyone, and I just wanted to do so very quickly because I wanted to prove that bullying works. And it's very important that everyone knows that. It's happening. We bought our tickets to the Sabrina Carpenter tour.
We did.
I'm so excited. They were very expensive. It's ridiculous. I'm so excited.
Need to buy my plane ticket still and still figure out Max. Oh my God, I just don't know what to do with him.
You got this, girly. Well, you said you found some good people on Rover.
It's more like I just don't know what the best, least traumatic option will be for him. My mom's always like, oh, he'll have so much fun at like a daycare. And I'm like, I'm sure he would, but I just feel like leaving for multiple days is different than a
Lily,
daycare.
he's gonna be
and
fine.
I don't know. I feel like he's very sensitive.
He is, but I feel like he's gonna be totally fine. And it's Sabrina Carpenter. I mean, come on. Well, you already bought the tickets, so it's gotta happen. I was surprised that you were like, you know what, let's just do it. Well, it was like a group effort because Chelsea and Sherilyn from the Here for the Clout podcast are also coming. My brother's coming as well. And it just became a thing where it's like, okay, we have to buy the tickets and we're gonna buy them today. And then it was just a group bullying and it worked. And then Lily was like, okay. And then it happened.
I was like, well, I mean, I guess worst case scenario, I just eat the cost. But
oh my God, that would be insane. Well, who do I take? My mom? No, but hopefully you do make it. That would be actually really sad if you lost all that money. And it's gonna be so fun.
I'm gonna come. I haven't really been able to think about it because
valid. I have to start planning my outfit. Actually, I need something cute.
Oh my God, furthest thing from my mind. They had been having a group chat about it for hours before I woke up one day, and by the time I entered the chat, they were sending outfit suggestions, and literally I opened it and it was something that was a little mini skirt, and I was just
I think Chelsea did a mood board.
My response was, yes to the tickets, but I'd rather die than wear that.
It's so cute. It's Sabrina inspired. Would I wear it? I wish I could, but
Sabrina Carpenter, love her to death, but her style of dress, not quite for me.
Oh, interesting. Okay, period. I think she looks very slay.
For her.
For her. Oh yeah, no. She's very petite. I'm a gargantuan woman.
It's just she's a little I look at it and I'm I would look like a fucking dumbass.
That's how I feel. But you know what? Concerts are the time to kind of low-key look like a dumbass. Everybody's just trying to slay. And
I wore a tracksuit to Missy Elliott, but
exactly.
I feel
it's a whole group experience. It's borderline cosplaying, I feel concerts are.
No,
anyway.
And I'm fine dressing up for concerts. I just didn't I need to find a version
something that makes sense.
Not make me want to look cool.
Well, anyway, I've actually gotten a few messages of people that are I'm gonna be there. So I think we've got some girlies that are gonna be
okay. Well, have we talked about before that I've never had it where I'm everywhere I go, people are oh my God, is that Lil? Absolutely not. And especially in LA, I think even if people did recognize you, they wouldn't say anything. So whenever I go home, and specifically the mall, someone will be and it's not oh my God, it's just oh my God, I used to watch you. And I'm used to? Why not anymore? But hands down, the most, every single time I used to go to concerts, it felt like a fucking meet and greet. I don't know. I feel I forget when people come up to me and I'm yes, how can I help you?
I don't know where the bathroom is. Sorry.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, so please come up to us.
Yeah, if you do see us, come up to us. I'm probably going to be wasted.
Yeah, I'll be drunk. Yeah, no, that's always, that's the thing too. Especially at concerts, my go-to is because you don't want to have to keep getting up. So.
Oh, wait, you never updated us. Did you find Truly or White Claw at the Missy Elliott concert? Oh.
Truly? No. I got some kind of seltzer. They had a whole Bud Light seltzer area. And I was
okay.
Sure. The problem was, and I guess I kind of remember this from going to concerts in the past, and I just haven't been to one in so long, but I don't even think we were halfway done with the concert when I was my drink is hot. I need to go get another one and drink it faster. I go out and everything is closed and they will not sell any alcohol. And I literally looked at them and I was what do you mean?
What do you mean?
And then the guy was what are you doing afterwards? I can take you after. I was I don't want a drink afterwards, sir. Give me the seltzer or leave me alone.
They closed the concessions during the concert?
Halfway.
Okay, I'm not trying to be dramatic. If that happens during Sabrina, I'm going to lose it.
I was so upset. And then I kind of had flashbacks to like that happening before and me being bummed. But like, at least by that point, usually I was like wasted. I had like half of a seltzer.
Well, we'll pregame a little bit just in case to be safe.
I don't know if I should do that much though, because what I was going to say is my normal concert plan of attack is that I don't want to have to keep getting up for drinks. And they usually will only sell you 2 at a time. So it was when I was drinking beer mostly, but I would get 2 tall boys and I'd be like, well, I don't need both, but I'll just like sew it out to get up in case I want another one. But then like I have them. So then I drank them. And then like not even like an hour goes by and I've finished both. And I'm like, oh, well, I guess I should go get another one, probably because they're not going to sell them in 10 more minutes. And I'm like, well, I might as well get 2 more just in case someone else wants one. No. Then I drink those 2 as well. I used to black out so badly at concerts just because like I wouldn't even realize how much I was drinking. Mm-hmm. And
that's what I'm hoping for. No, I'm just kidding. I do want to be in the moment and I want to remember it. I don't black out actually ever, and I don't really even get drunk ever anymore. But I'm excited. 3 out of 4 of the girlies that are going are moms. Yes, we get tired earlier, but we just want to go so hardcore when we're out. I love it so much. Like, you've never been out with moms. Moms are like, let's fucking go. Like, let's fucking get crazy. That's how I feel. I just want to let loose. Let my tetas out.
I don't want to get crazy. I'm just tired from being tired.
I don't know. We're going to have a great time. I'm so excited. But if you guys are there at the Sabrina Carpenter, I think it's, what is it? Let's not announce dates. But if you're going to be there, we'll see you. Anyway, guys, we do have a show. Holy shit. Sorry. I just got a little sidetracked there and I had forgotten to update you. I know a lot of you were very concerned about whether or not Lily was coming. We're halfway there. Okay. We just need a flight booked and we're good to go.
We just need Delta to sponsor the flight and then...
Anyway, we do have a topic for today. And I say topic because although we have 2 prepared, we're really going to only get to 1. That's just how things are going these days. I'd rather thoroughly cover a topic, 1 singular, than like half-ass 2. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like that's
I agree.
better.
And I feel like this one is like, it is 1 topic, but there's a lot of developments that have happened.
For sure. So this is such an interesting one. And it's another wedding drama. I feel like we've been covering quite a bit of wedding stuff lately. Or was it just that one?
Well, there was the sepia.
Oh God, the sepia photographer.
And then there was the wedding dress one. And yeah. It's a lot of like bride versus vendor.
Which honestly, I feel as someone who used to do makeup back in the day, and I did used to do weddings, like honestly, it's the most stressful shit ever. I never liked doing it. I feel like these problems have been around forever and people just haven't had an avenue to like either out themselves or like be outed. You know what I mean?
So that's the thing is like, it's so insane to me to see what people are willing to put out on the internet. And I don't know what the end goal is if they're like hoping they're going to go viral or if it's just like a little vent sesh. They think it's not going to go viral and then they're like mortified when it does. Either way, couldn't be
vent sesh. This isn't your fucking diary. Like this isn't a confessional on a reality show. Like this,
couldn't be me. But even, and we'll get into all the nitty gritty, but it's like part of it that I was like, oh my, what are you doing? Even if she was totally in the right and like got totally fucked over by people, she uploads this video like in the middle of like her talking about the situation. She like does a toss to a clip of her crying in the car.
Yep.
And
yeah,
I was watching it like, why would you ever want anyone to see it?
Well, the crying on the internet in general, like believe me, girl, I've done it. But like, I think that there's a time and a place. And also like, what is the purpose? Is the purpose like, are you having a conversation that's going to empower people? Like, what are we doing here? And when we get down to like the bare bones of all of this, it's like, oh, talk to your friends about this, girl. Like this did not, especially she's a business owner. It's not like just her. Well, like she works with like 15 other people. That's the thing.
And like, it's not her personal account. It is her business like TikTok.
Yes.
And it's, I just am like, do people have no concept of professionalism anymore? At all?
No.
It's like the lines are blurred between like
it is
wanting
sometimes
to
it works out for them on the internet. Sometimes it's great.
Oh, you want to put your personality into it, but it's like not that much.
When you're a business page and you're selling a service, don't do this. So anyway, let's introduce who we're talking about. Her name is Keziah. She is the owner of the Key Look, okay? And that is the name of the company that I think like 15 people work for. Hair and makeup is what they do for weddings.
I will say that any of the makeup looks I've seen from her or the company, great job. Like makeup wise, I think she is very talented.
Yeah. Do you know The Knot? It's like a website or like a service that like I guess people look to for vendors and stuff. They have events and shit.
I feel like they do like even just like the RSVPs and stuff.
Yeah. Her company, The Key Look, won Best of Weddings in 2021, 2022, and 2023. Like, she's good
Which
at what she
doesn't surprise
does.
me. And I actually saw someone point out that she, in her bio, says like makeup for, I don't know what it says exactly, but it's like something for all colored brides. And that she does have experience doing like all types of hair, all skin types, all like she has a very vast expertise and she's really good. But to that, I'm like, oh, let that speak for itself. What do you do?
Right. Well, I mean, listen, even the best of the best, even the most professional business owners are human. And I'm not trying to like make it be like, you can't have a bad day. You can't do X, Y, and Z. What I think is weird here is the series of events. It's not an isolated thing. There was a lot of decisions made back to back that led to just being like, what is this? Why did you do this? It's just
like, seems like a very glaring case of lack of social awareness and self-awareness and awareness in general.
Yes, I agree. It's a little bit different than most videos we react to in that the majority of this story time that's over, I mean, it's like 3 parts, but then each part is like 9 minutes long. It's really just text on a screen and different clips of what she filmed. So like what we know for sure, and she'll clarify this later, is that she does have permission to film. A lot of times people will have to put this in their contract.
No, not even to, she does have permission to make content.
It's not specified from what I understand.
No. And when you would hear that from a makeup artist, I would think that meant involving the makeup.
Yeah.
Or like and just before and afters, kind of stuff like that. I guess her content is a bit more all-encompassing.
She's a jack of all trades, if you will.
She is. It doesn't matter if you hired her for the jack of all trades, but she's going to bring all of the trades to you.
So basically what we're going to do is just like read the screen. So the way that she started this off was, it says part 1, come with me to get kicked out of a wedding I was booked to do hair and makeup for. Already hooked. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
It's like some crazy shit must have gone down. So she starts at 6:55 a.m., gets to the hotel.
She said this weekend was hell.
I had a wedding 9/6 and a wedding 9/7 that I was working as a makeup artist. The team in total, like her team, her company, had 3 weddings and all the bridal parties were huge.
Which is stressful as fuck, I will say that.
Yeah, because she's not just doing the bride's makeup, she's doing everyone's makeup.
Yeah, and it's the worst. It really is. There's no other way to describe it.
The wedding was 9/7 and I found out my boyfriend was cheating on me 9/5.
That sucks, obviously.
Yes, it does.
I remember when I worked as a bank teller, Jonathan, my ex, broke up with me and I would have to like go to the back room to sob because I was so distressed. But I didn't do it in front of customers. I held it together. You know, you just like, you keep pushing. He didn't even cheat on me. Well, I had suspicions, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But that's hard, obviously. I don't know how long they were together, but you know, that sucks.
On 9/6, I could barely keep myself together to work for the wedding. I was trying to hold it together, but I ended up breaking and busted out crying in front of everyone.
Which already, I haven't seen this whole thing. That's interesting. Like, you're leading with, I got kicked out of a wedding, and then you're starting to say that you were in distress, like emotional distress. And I already was like, where's this going? Is she just like running around crying? Like,
it's a lot of like putting some padding down first. It's like, but this is why.
Yeah.
But then also proceeds to basically say she did nothing wrong. So interesting. She says, I stuck it out, even cried while doing one of the bridesmaids' makeup from start to finish.
You should have excused yourself, especially if you had a team. That should have already. This is, I know this is going to sound so insensitive, and I don't mean it to sound that way. You have a team, leave it to your team then. Like, even if you had to walk the fuck out, don't do that on someone's wedding day. Even I would have said that if it was like a death in the family, which is horrible. But it's just like, you need to not be working when you're in that much distress. Like, period. You shouldn't have to work through that.
Well, and that's like, I understand that being at a wedding of all things when you just got cheated on is not going to be an easy thing, but like doesn't take a genius to think about that ahead of time. So like, I understand it probably was like stressful, but she does have a team of people usually, like,
and notably she had a full day before the wedding, which isn't a ton, but you're in the space, you have a team, and if somebody in your team can't do it, I'm sure you know of somebody qualified to do it.
That's the thing. Like, I'm sure it would have been a scramble, but like, you probably could have found someone last minute that the bride would have been okay with. Like, doing one of the bridesmaids' makeup from start to finish, you were crying the whole time. Like, I mean,
I would have just been there. You know that emoji?
I like
the 2
that's so
eyes and the lips?
Like,
I would have just, oh boy.
Like, at the end of the day, the bridal party looked beautiful. Everyone was happy, and the wedding was a success for the team. When I woke up on 9/7, I had a change of attitude. Although I didn't want to deal with the world because I had a broken heart, I understand that I work in the wedding industry and I have to show up and support women on one of the biggest days of their life.
I mean, I get it.
You feel like that worth shouldn't be having to support you.
Yeah, and especially you know how much money they pay. I know that sounds so fucking bullshit. I get it. I'm like torn, right? Because it's like, if it was my wedding, would I be sad that someone is sad, like that's working? I would have felt horrible. I would have been like, what? Why are you didn't have to come?
And that's the thing. It's like, you would have been human and like been trying to empathize and sympathize, but at the same time, you're like, you're paying for like, those are the few things that you're like, I don't want to even have to think about it.
I'm torn because it's not like someone's not allowed to have emotions. It's just usually not super appropriate to do them at work, period, right? So like, even if you work a corporate job.
Much less on someone's wedding day, where it's like, you're gonna now be tainting their memories of their wedding day, or like, they're not gonna be able to focus on making sure everything gets done that they want done because they're like busy trying to comfort you to make sure you're okay.
I think that my biggest thing though is like, it's not even so much that like, again, that she shouldn't be allowed to have those emotions. I think the biggest issue is like, you shouldn't have to work through those emotions. That's bullshit.
And then to kind of act like she's a martyr for doing so.
Yeah, if you lose out on money, if your team has to cover your ass, if you have to find someone else, whatever you have to do, your well-being comes first mentally. Like, I just don't think it's right that you even showed up. Period. And I think that maybe at this point she would agree. But the point is that this is someone's one wedding, hopefully, in their life. And it's something that now is kind of like a stain on the day. But interestingly enough, her being emotional is not the main issue of why all of this happened. So that's not even the main thing.
I think also it's like the bride didn't get a choice, whether it was like, because you could be like, oh, I didn't want to bail on her last minute. Honestly, I think if you told some brides that like, hey, I just went through this, I'm going to be really emotional. If they had the choice between that or finding someone super last minute, they probably try and find someone super last minute.
Yeah, I would think so. But again, she has a team. It's not even just her. So, you know.
Yeah, there should have been potentially, not should have been, I don't know how their business is structured, but like you would think since she is a very successful company that does weddings very frequently, that she would have someone that she could fall back on. I got to work early and ready to make sure Kiana had a day that she wouldn't forget. She won't. I wanted to show up as my best self, and I did. As I kept working, I started to feel like myself again. I was feeling so happy.
And she's just showing like the setup of everything. She had people with her too.
That's the thing. Like she did a great job for what she was hired to do. It's the things that she did that she was not hired to do.
Well, she says my team was set up and ready. The energy was amazing that morning because it did look like she had multiple people with her.
Usually we come out to weddings and film content, as you can see from our feed.
Which again, pretty standard. Most makeup artists on social media will show you before and after, show you how they did it, application, what they use. Not what she's talking about.
In our wedding day agreement, we have the right to film content. Again, very vague, loose use of that word, but and use it for whatever we'd like. When you sign an agreement, you agree to content being filmed at your wedding unless you advise us in writing 60 days before your wedding.
I don't think that's weird, but I think that if what you're gonna do is what she's about to do, that needs to be super specified. And like, first of all, shouldn't even be there. It shouldn't even be a thing that you do because she oversteps. If you can't tell by our cadence and like how we're talking about this, she oversteps. She gets in people's way. She's doing other people's job, essentially. Videographer, photographer, things like that. And it's just like, you should probably let them know that's going to happen because that seems like it might be an issue.
Well, and I saw one lady talking about it and she said that she thinks that the main issue for a lot of this is similar to, she kind of compared it to the Sepia Bride thing too, but I think it's very different. But she said it comes down to like transparency with how things are going to go. Because when you have someone sign that, again, when a makeup artist is asking you to sign that, you would just assume that it's going to be things related to that. Like to showing off the makeup, to whatever. Given, if you do look at her feed, you can see that she does do not just that. Like she is giving just a lot of wedding content in general, which it's like, yeah, they have the makeup on, but like, I don't know. But she's having the bridesmaids do like trends and stuff. So like that should be something that you look at ahead of time. But also I think it should be clear what this content is in the contract, just to make sure everyone's happy, you know? Because the lady was pointing out that like there are probably a lot of people that would love that, like that people hire social media people for weddings. So doing content like that isn't a problem for everyone, But also it's not
know.
what the content is as much, I think, as how it was done.
She says, we were having an amazing morning. I was getting content of everyone because I thought everyone was so beautiful and we were just producing phenomenal work as a team.
And at this point, they're still just doing makeup stuff.
Right.
Live your dreams, sure.
She says, filming the content also helped boost my energy. The entire room was vibing off my energy. A little cocky. A little bit. I mean, you don't know why they were vibing. Like, what the fuck?
A bit confident, you could say. Also, it's like, oh, I mean, she thinks that's a good thing, but like, already I'm like, whoa, what energy? What, like...
Right. What were you bringing to the table? We need to know.
Yeah, because also I feel like before a wedding, like, yeah, there should be good energy, but also like the vibe should be like calm and not too crazy.
Ooh, okay, now it starts getting weird because she says, now the bride had mentioned that the groom did not like TikToks, but she said he should be fine and everyone would be a part of all of the content. Okay, the vibe I'm getting and piecing things together is like she was already like telling the bride all the stuff she wanted to do for the day content wise, and the bride was kind of like, ugh, because we did find out
she was
after
reading
the fact
the energy
that the bride is actually not a social media person. So she hasn't posted anything on social media since 2019. She's just not someone that films TikToks or is into that or into trends at all. So it's just, she probably was like fine with it, but was like, oh, I didn't know that's what you meant by filming content. Okay, I'm busy getting married. That's a lot.
And then when it's extended to things like involving the groom, for example, who she's not doing the makeup for. I'm sure she's like started listing off things like, oh, and then we can do this and this. And she has said herself, she was really bringing up the energy. And the bride was probably like, oh, this is too much energy.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering here. But she didn't pick up on that energy because it says, I was so excited for the content we would get for her. So I just kept filming. And I also wanted some behind the scenes to share with our social media.
That I have a problem with also because it's like we get for her because it doesn't sound like this is for her.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. If you get behind the scenes for your social media, you set up a tripod and it picks up the things that you're doing and you can show what you and your team can do for a wedding. Beautiful, wonderful, no problem with that. If you are making them step aside from their wedding day, from their excitement, from their time with their friends, from anything. Have you ever been to a fucking wedding? The behind the scenes is just hectic. Everyone's just running around until the last second. So they don't have time to do shit unless they really want to do shit.
And if it's not for the bride's social media, like why would she want to? If she hasn't posted since 2019, she's probably like, well, I guess.
Like, I don't care. Like, I don't prioritize this shit in my everyday life. Why would I prioritize it for you right now on my wedding day? It seems like
at least read the situation and be like, yeah, you can make content even like if they have some downtime and want to, like the bridesmaids want to do some other content. Like, sure, I guess. But if she's trying to now frame it also like, oh, I was getting it for her, where it's like, no, you weren't. She didn't ask for it though.
Well, it also seems like the whole thing is a workaround. If you don't want her to film, you have to give the 60-day written notice. So it's like, if you don't want it, you got to fucking make sure you reach that deadline. It says she even mentioned that she was going to hire a content creator for her wedding. Okay, interesting. I don't know why she would if she doesn't post on social media.
That's what I was going to say. Weird thing to do if you haven't posted since 2019, but maybe she was trying to have a comeback.
This is what she's saying also. We don't know that this is true. So I made a decision that I would stay for the entire wedding day and get content. That is so unhinged. She said, so you want a content creator? It's me. And I'm doing it free of charge, baby girl. Don't even worry about it.
Step it up to the plate. Ask and you shall receive. And she's like, I didn't ask. I mean, I've never worked weddings. I've never done any kind of business like that. But like, I feel like, especially if you're going through a traumatic time in your life, I mean, it also just like, normally I feel like this would be the case that like you just worked all day. Like you got there at 6, 7 a.m.
It is so tiring, Lily. You are on your feet. Like, it's hustle, bustle. You're sweating.
Exactly. I think of like shoots I've been on where it's like even just getting makeup done.
You can't wait to leave.
Yeah. So I'm like, why would you be? I'm going to stay the whole day. Like, no, I get the fuck out of there.
And
like,
especially when nobody asked you to do that. That's insane.
Also, even like I saw someone post that was like, I've worked in the wedding industry for years. And like a lot of the time brides do say like, yeah, stay, come to the, like they'll be polite basically.
Yes.
But like at the end of the day, they hired you. You are not their friend. They're not going to notice if you leave. They're going to notice if you stay though.
They are going to notice if you stay. It's harsh, but it is true. It's like there are certain things, and I don't think it's right. I think that more people people would benefit from being more upfront with things. If you don't want somebody there, don't offer for them to be there. You know what I mean? Don't be kind just to like be kind. Like if you don't feel it, don't say it. Because a lot of people, especially people on like the spectrum or just that are neurodivergent in general, don't pick up a lot of those cues. So it is more difficult for them to understand like, oh, you're not meaning that. You're just saying that to be nice. And I think that a lot of our society relies on like vibes and like picking up societal norms.
I watched a lot of commentary on this because there's been a lot on TikTok, and there were several people that were like, I don't know how much I agree with the people trying to say like, well, if you're not good at reading social situations, because they'd be like, because I am neurodivergent and I am not great at reading social situations, but I know that you can bond with them when you're doing their makeup and like it feels like you guys are close and stuff. But at the end of the day, like vibes aside, like this is your job. Don't overstep and get too comfortable.
I think that in general, setting boundaries as a business owner is beneficial. And I think that that's something that she should do. I feel like she's been in the game for so long. At this point, you would have like a solid time, like, hey, if you want me to stay for touch-ups, this is the price. And if not, I'm out. Like, love you. Have a great day. I just don't see how she invented this whole content creator package that's not paid, where she just stays. It's very
I don't
interesting.
think was asked for.
It was not asked for. So it's a separate category of like, she just shouldn't do this in general, even if someone's being nice to her. But yeah, I do agree with those people. Like sometimes people say shit to be nice and it's hard to tell when they're not meaning it. You know what I mean?
But you should kind of almost just like in your position
assume that
as
they're not
a wedding
meaning
vendor, assume that they're being nice. Like do not assume that you just made a new best friend.
But she continues on and says, moving on, we were already booked to stay an additional 2 hours to touch-ups. Okay, so that's what I just said. If you are going to do touch-ups, usually it's an extra fee. So I guess they were booked to stay for at least 2 hours. We were booked to stay an additional 2 hours for touch-ups at the venue. So I said, hey, why not?
Why not throw in the content creator package?
As a business owner, some money you'll get on the back end by the hard work you put in and the moments you go above and beyond. See, I get what she's saying. I do. I just don't get how it applies here, because being a content creator is so different than being a makeup artist. It's like two different things. Like I failed to see how it's super beneficial to make that move.
If you wanted to branch into that, I guess, if she wanted to then offer that in the future as a package. But maybe pick someone again that wants that.
In this industry, like makeup specifically, a lot of times like if you do makeup for free for someone and you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that, but like I was doing it because of the opportunity. Like I think there's different categories of doing things for opportunities. I don't know that this was one of them.
Well, I just think you got hired for a job, do that job first and foremost, and not try and get your hands in every other bucket.
But maybe the reason she wanted to do it is because she was having a great time. She says it right here. When I tell y'all we were having a good time, we were having a really good time. And I don't doubt it. Like
she literally, Jessie didn't just say that, like she actually repeats that. It seems to me that she like was in kind of maybe a vulnerable, I mean not maybe, she's definitely in a vulnerable emotional state, and she was having fun and she just got too comfortable and
thought this was like her family.
Yeah, literally. We were listening to the good music and just laughing and joking the entire morning. Oh, yeah, I feel like that's normal.
Okay, I did that all the time because I cannot be in a room and not joke, and tried to be as appropriate as possible when I was a, business owner. But like, yeah, you try to connect with people, you try to have a good time, but there still is that boundary, and you have to understand that the most important thing on that day is the bride and the couple, and just making sure that you're not fucking
and getting the things you were paid to do done too, which she does, but I guess there are some time issues that are brought up at certain points. And I do have a lot of experience working with makeup artists doing makeup for a lot of people, and we had like our regular people, but we'd bring in others sometimes, and sometimes they would get a little too comfortable. And they'd be like making social media for their pages and stuff. And it's like, okay, moving along. We have 5 more people to do. Like, what are you doing?
No, it is true. That has to always be your focus, because it is easy. Like the rest of the people are there to have fun. They're there to have a good time. They're there to relax. So it's easy to get like caught up in that environment, but you are there to work, and like you are there to do something very important. And I think that as a business owner, it's important to not get lost in that shuffle, and like to make sure you're staying on time, because being late on wedding day, is there anything worse? And when you're doing so many people, you fall behind on one, you fall behind on everyone. It is exactly.
Well, and I like think of, I am probably a makeup artist's worst nightmare, because I get so chatty, and like even I'll go to the dentist and they'll be like, okay, shut your mouth. We gotta.
The way I would when I do your makeup for the Sabrina Carpenter tour, I'm gonna tell you to shut the fuck up. I'm gonna put a piece of mouth tape.
No, literally though, because I'm like, people will like when someone's getting their makeup done, they don't have anywhere else to be. So like they're just
like I'm just vibing,
doing whatever.
Great.
Yeah. So you need need to have the wherewithal to be like, okay, we're on a schedule. I can't just like chit chat all day long. But before we go any further, we have a word from our sponsor, Honeylove.
Usually you only bring out a bra for special occasions because they're typically so uncomfortable, as I've said a million times on this show, but not anymore. I wear a bra at home now, and that's something that I never thought I'd say because it's what I would whip off the second I entered my door. But Honeylove bras are the most comfortable bras I've ever worn. I'm wearing them right now. I wear them every single episode, and I just can't say enough good things about how comfortable they are.
Honeylove has basically revolutionized the wireless bra game and eliminates the need for all the uncomfortable wires that usually you have to wear underneath and are the reason you want to rip your bra off the second you walk in the door.
Why did they ever invent those?
I don't know. It's like corsets.
But Honeylove has more than just very comfortable bras. They also have incredibly comfortable shapewear, tanks, and leggings for everyday support. So if you guys want to try Honeylove out for yourself, you can head over to honeylove.com/DWKT and save 20% off when you use that link.
That's honeylove.com/DWKT. And after you buy, they're going to ask who sent you and you're going to tell them the girlies.
And thank you so much to Honeylove for being an amazing sponsor of this podcast. Not the dual moment.
I had everyone laughing all morning. There was literally not a dual...
Literally not a dull moment at all,
there was not a dull moment at all. I don't think anyone's saying that, girl. I don't know why we're trying to convince everyone.
We get it. Y'all had a freaking time, and I love that for you. But reel it in.
Kiana, her mom, and all the girls that morning were so sweet and so welcoming to me. They kept calling me their hype man.
Okay.
I'm sure you were. Mom was so dope, and thank you again for all the encouraging words and talks. You were sweet from the time I got there till the time I left.
Okay. That's fine.
I just feel like...
It's a little... performative. It's a little like we really connect, and I get it. That's great. That's fine. I just think that she's taking it all like, I don't know. I think she thinks that she's gonna go to Thanksgiving with them.
Like literally, if there was another wedding, she would be in the bridal party.
Yeah. And I get it, like vibing with people, it's great. It's just, yeah, she's taking it to the next level.
I feel like she's skipping a few steps in the friendship. Went and grabbed some content of dresses and shoes. I was doing full makeup and full-on content, y'all. Content for who?
Why is she holding someone's shoes?
I don't know, because also videographers, like, they'll get footage of all this. I'm sure they were popping in.
No, Lily, don't worry. This looks great. What are you talking about? The fucking dress.
So it's not like a situation where it's like, I can't believe no one's filming this. You're going to want to remember this. It's like, no, I'm sure there was.
The dress is literally like, you can't even see it because it's like tied with the wrap.
Also, like, why do we don't need to see bridesmaids' dresses hung up. You want to see the wedding dress hung up.
Videographers, when they take video of an actual dress, it's laid out, it's photographed, it's perfect, it's staged. Yep. What is this? Like, this is what you stopped doing the makeup for? You didn't need to. And then don't grab people's shoes. Like, what the fuck?
Rachel will come into play later.
I was about to say, isn't she one of the ones that came out?
She did a whole live where she was like interviewed. Rachel was so sweet, one of Kiana's bridesmaids. By the time we got to the venue, we were calling each other cousins, and she was saying she was going to invite me to her wedding.
I'm telling you.
She wasn't serious.
I'm telling She might have been drunk off of champagne, girl. I'm just going to be 100% with you.
I feel bad because it's like, I'm sure they were being nice. And I'm sure it did feel like you were having some kind of
I would hope they weren't being mean. That would be awful.
Yeah, but I was like, but isn't that kind of like normal? I usually leave makeup, like from getting my makeup done, being like, oh my God, besties. But it's like, I'm not about to fucking
not
like,
actually besties, okay?
Stay away. I'm not like about to go like, oh, I'm coming to your mom's house for dinner tomorrow.
No, I do think that it's great to vibe with people, and it's great to just like have a good time wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Even if like when I was a bank teller, I like to talk to people. I like to ask them how their day's going and like genuinely have a conversation. There's just has to be an understanding there. It's like, I don't know you and you don't know me, and that's okay. We could be nice to each other and then leave, and that's okay.
Exactly. And especially in that kind of profession, like, yeah, you should be really personable, and like everyone should want to be your best friend, but you just need to realize that it's all like a product of the environment, and tomorrow no one's gonna be like, we need to call that makeup artist and see if she'll come to brunch.
But she continues on and says, everyone kept telling me to stay for the wedding because it would be so much fun and I bring so much good energy. I told them, I don't know when I'm gonna leave, but we are booked to come to the venue. I also told them I'll continue to film content. So this is what I gather, okay, is the main issue. I don't doubt she brought good vibes. I don't doubt everyone had a great time. And people might
I don't
like,
even
hey,
doubt people were
stay.
saying you should come.
Oh, no, absolutely. I totally see that. But what's crazy is the content that she insists on capturing and the value she thinks she's bringing when in fact she is not. And when she should have just stuck to hair and makeup because she's super talented with that. And I think that's what made everything get messy.
And I can totally see all of this playing out like as one of the bridesmaids being like, oh my God, she's so fun.
Like, come on.
You should come.
Are you kidding me? I would be the first one to invite her to the venue. Be like, literally, I don't even know if there's a plate for you, girl, but you can sit on my lap. Right. Like, I don't know.
Exactly. Literally. Oh my God. Yes, you would. Also, I feel like, I don't know, you just expect there to be a boundary where the makeup artist is very reluctant, and for good reason, because like that isn't super professional. But then like she does show up. All the bridesmaids lose it because they're so excited. Their friend from earlier is there. Have a great time. That's fine.
Just be a guest.
Yeah.
Don't do anything else. Just
already
sit down.
Being a guest is like you weren't invited to the wedding.
Well, she was invited to stay 2 hours after, so that would be the venue. So okay, go have your food, sit down, and then like touch up the bride's makeup and skedaddle on out of there, or stay and just be a regular guest. All we're asking you to do is not work any more than you have to. Just don't do anything else. But she says we started filming the fiance anthem trend on TikTok. I have to admit, I don't know what that one is. Oh, you see, they were drinking. Okay, I just saw a glass of wine, so that explains.
Of course they were. You guys are bringing the energy, was a quote from the bride. Still stopping to film content in the middle of my bride. I was not playing. I wanted all the content from this wedding.
Okay, that's a wild little paragraph.
What the fuck? I thought the content was for her.
Oh, and it just gets so much worse. Because again, all of this right now is in the hotel room. They're doing the makeup. No problem, girl.
Still fine.
This is to be expected.
But this brings up my issue with earlier, where it's like, if I was the bride and I was like, oh, she's great, this is fun, but then like she starts filming content, she stops doing my makeup to film content, which I did not ask her to do, I'd be like, okay. And then it's like, it's too late to kind of reel back the friendship vibe. And then you're like, oh no.
I could see how it went down for sure. Because I feel like for me, I will be nice like during a service or something. Like if there was this one lady that used to do my hair and she used to stop so much. I mean, she stopped to fucking eat. And I'm just like, can you not schedule me when you're not eating? And it's fine. Like I don't want you to not eat. Break? Like I don't want you to like keel over. But like, what the fuck is this? She would stop. Anybody would enter the shop. She would stop. She would talk to everyone. It would take her like 5 hours to do highlights. And it got to the point where I was like, I'm not coming back to you. But a lot of people will read your niceness for passiveness when it comes to situations where it's like, let me stop your service. You don't stop the service unless it's literally just like setting up your phone super quick. But like, this sounds like she was like really trying to get an angle, which is so ironic because the angle she chose is horrible and all of them are. And I'm just like, what content are you creating? Actually, I must ask, because this isn't very good.
That's like, she's having them do like trends, which that's the weird part for me. Cause I'm like, if you do want to do like some kind of trend to put on your business Instagram, have it be something that is like such a like quick. Small footprint in terms of time and effort. Like if it's not going on the bride's Instagram, like why the or TikTok, whatever, why the fuck are you like dedicating so much effort to this?
I feel like it would be more beneficial to like practice transitions or something and then utilize those, like you're doing the transition but you're just filming before and afters or something, like to actually get her to like mouth things and it seemed like
that's
there was like
a whole like too
thing.
Much. I was telling Jennifer when to head out to the venue so that Kiana can get her hair styled at the venue.
Wait, what? Why didn't she get her hair styled there?
It was raining, so we wanted to make sure she looked her best when she got into her dress, so we decided to style her hair at the venue.
That makes sense.
I love to tell brides this when it rains on their wedding day. No one ever tells them why the rain is good luck.
You want to know why it's good luck? So you tie in a knot today, and whenever you tie a knot, and it gets wet, you can't break the knot. Like you can't untie it.
Oh, well, that's nice.
So that's why it's super like lucky to get
I didn't know that was like why. I thought it was just like something you tell sad brides.
No. Everybody always say that, and I'm always like, do you know why?
Okay,
that's fine.
That's fine. But also, just this, I think I'm getting nitpicky. But like, did you see how like she was just wiping? You could have kept talking while you're wiping her face. I feel like she's someone who gets like very easily distracted, and that would have driven me nuts because she also seems like someone who talks a lot. So yeah, I would have just been like, girly, just say that while you're wiping my face. But you know,
that's what I'm telling you. Like, I know sure. I am a nightmare for people that are doing stuff on my face because I won't stop talking. But like, oh my God, I could never be a makeup artist because are you kidding? Take me 5 hours.
I know. It says, we were talking about how much fun they had the night before. Her mom came out tired when I arrived, and I was in there moving furniture around to make space for all the girls. Kiana was telling her to come out because I was in the room. I feel like we're getting such random info, but okay. Then it says, here comes a photographer for the day, Melissa, and me.
Good thing, though, I was there before because Melissa got there late and I got all the content leading up. Me introducing myself to the photographer because I always introduce myself to everyone. Cool. Because that's what you do when you're raised with manners. Oh my God. I send a personal email to my bride's vendors introducing my team and providing them open communication with vendors just in case we need to make adjustments with timing. Cool. Standard. Doing that has helped my business so much, blah, blah, blah. I was telling the photographer and the videographer, short guy in the back earlier.
Okay, you didn't need to do him like that, short king.
I told them that we were doing the fiance anthem TikTok trend. They were so supportive. I told everyone I would tag them, and I did invite them to collab in the post, but only the flower company accepted it. The shade.
What? What does that mean?
You know, you could do like a collaborative post, so it would be like, I post it, but I ask you to collab, so it says we both post it.
Maybe they were all busy doing their fucking job, I would assume.
And maybe like they were reading vibes that like people were not like thrilled to be doing it, possibly, or like, I don't know. Maybe they were getting like ooh, I don't really want to be associated with her because she's doing too much.
It says, I started telling Kiana about the type of content I would post from her wedding. Oh, does she say it? Let me see if she actually says it.
Those videos when like the brides are talking, or just like vibing. Yeah. That's what you know.
Well, it's gonna be a voiceover like, get ready with me.
Oh no, we're not getting rid of it. I just think the sound. I don't really like doing voiceovers. I don't know. I just feel like it's better when people.
Wait. So was the bride asking, like, are you gonna just do a voiceover of like the things that you're gathering? Is that what that was?
I think she asked like, what is she?
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, kind of like, what are you filming for? But also, that's like, what are you filming for already? What is like going on right now? What is this being used for?
Right.
I didn't get like, well, here's the plan for when we get to the venue.
Well, now we get from the wedding all the way to the reception. It says, I was on my team's ass, making sure we finish everyone on time and give everyone serviced a touch-up before they depart. So this was all happening at 1:56 p.m. It says everyone was supposed to be finished by 2. Okay, so you not even having powdered the bride's face by 1:56. Concerning, definitely stressful.
And then she says bridal party was supposed to be out the door by 2:30.
I had already told the bride I would be there for her, and if you ever booked a wedding with me and I stay longer with you, you know I get down. When I stay at weddings with brides, I go all out and overextend myself to the utmost because that is what I truly love to do. You don't have to do that. You're there to, I mean, for whatever reason they want you to be there. If you're the makeup artist, they probably want you to be there to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, make sure you do what you promised though first on time.
It doesn't have to be more than that.
Yeah.
I also think this is like kind of like a weird commentary on like work culture and just like how people feel like they have to overextend themselves, and often it's just like a waste of fucking time and energy.
And that she's presented the whole thing as kind of like she's a martyr because it's like she stays and like puts in the effort and that's why she's successful. And it's like, or maybe you're just good at your job and you've done your job well in the past, so that's why you're successful. Like, you don't need to suddenly be doing all the stuff that wasn't asked for.
Yeah, it seems like she's trying to prove something. Like here it says, I don't need anything extra. I film my content, give her touch-ups, and hype my brides up because that's how I've always been with all my brides.
Did she get free touch-ups? I thought she was hired to have to do touch-ups for like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's a big difference too, because it's a big price difference. So I would be curious to know what the truth is there.
I was so excited about this wedding. It was good vibes all morning. My weekend had went from a mess to the best, and I was just overjoyed. Everything was going so well. And I get that this happens in these kind of situations where everything's really like exciting, that major adrenaline rush, and you're like really pumped. And I think that definitely also speaks to like when you do like go above and beyond, because it's like, you're so excited about what you're doing in that moment that you like don't even, you're like, oh, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, but she's been doing this for so long. I would assume what she knows the aftermath is as well, when you overextend yourself without being compensated for it or appreciated or asked to do it at all. Like, it's not worth it. It's not that people who don't do that are just like full of shit and lack work ethic. It's just like, you shouldn't do that because you're going to kill yourself. Like, it's just it's pointless.
But also, she doesn't even seem like, up until like eventually when she gets kicked out, like no one is not appreciating her. Like, it's not like she's just being like ignored. Like, I don't know. I think she just got, again, way too comfortable. We are now seeing the drive to the botanical gardens. She literally is like filming fucking like her phone battery. She must have a external charger. Even though I had to clean up and pack, I still arrived before the bride. Went straight into the bridal suite. Jennifer was already there to work. We started to finish our bride off.
Oh yeah, because they were finishing her hair.
Yeah. Any struggles my bride had, I was always ready to help and assist. At weddings, it's all hands on deck to make sure your brides feel and look their best. Just trying to make her day easy, no matter what. I've sat and made boob pasties by hand for a bride before because she needed it. I'm not really sure what that process is like. What do you mean?
She just starts making it sticky with like her saliva. Like, girl, what do you mean you're making boob pasties? I need you to elaborate. That is so random. You could have probably ran to Walgreens and gotten some quicker than that.
I'm a really by any means when it necessary. I feel like she forgot there. But when it comes to working these weddings, which again, cool, but
not sustainable.
That doesn't mean you get like a friendship. Like,
oh my God, not her calling out the videographer again for being short. You must be stopped. You are a menace. Why do you keep saying that?
This is the thing also. Is like she keeps saying like I make content as if it's some like pre-planned packaged kind of situation. Like she was vlogging the wedding from her perspective. It's giving Lila.
Yeah, literally. I mean, this is so wild. It says this was so funny. The videographer needed to stand on the chair to take the video he wanted because he was short. We all just had a laugh about it and it was just cute and innocent fun. Girl, you did not need to include
no
that.
One can, that's not helping it. Yeah, no. I'm still filming content.
5, she's still filming. Yeah.
And the bride is getting ready to be finished with everything. Again, for who? Like,
look at the
photographers in there.
They have people doing that.
Yeah. This is giving Lila Gibney at Cover and Alex's wedding when she's like, well, I just like wanted to give them this, like, as if it was this cinematic masterpiece.
Yes,
and it's like,
absolutely.
No one wants your vertical videos of people from your perspective.
Because it goes from her being hired to do touch-ups after to her saying right now, whenever I wanted to pull the bride or bridal party for the content, I always asked the vendors first if it was okay because I didn't want to be in anyone's way. You're in people's way. Trust that. Like, there's no other way to put it.
They probably think that you're doing it for the bride. Like, if they think that that's what is supposed to be happening, they're going to say yes.
She says, I've been in this industry for a long time and I know how it works. Photographers and videographers want to do their job and get the bride the footage she wants professionally.
But I want to give her the unprofessional footage she really wants. Like, what the fuck?
You know what it's giving? It's, oh my God, every photo shoot I've ever done, my mom has like taken photos with her iPhone. And it's like, girl, we are not going to use those.
It's giving filming a concert.
Me at the Sabrina Carpenter concert. No, it literally, like, we're not going to see that. Why are you filming fireworks? You're never going to look back at that. Like, it doesn't make sense, but you do it. This is so weird.
I've had my fair share of times being yelled at about me wanting to get content when I first started in the industry. So I just kindly ask so we're on the same page. By this time, everyone knows that we're doing the Fiancé Anthem TikTok. I was talking about it and everyone was excited about it.
Not the fucking Fiancé album again. What even is that?
I don't know, but she keeps mentioning it.
She's really writing for it.
The girl in the back is the assistant planner that came up to me at the end of the night to tell me I was being kicked out.
Oh. Period.
The angle from which this is filmed, she's filming the bridesmaids turning around and seeing like a first look with the bride. People were trying to disrupt and I was being top flight security, making sure my bride's first look photos weren't ruined by
I forgot, however, to look in the mirror and see myself there.
Girlie, you are the stranger. Because the angle this is taken from, like, she's gonna be in the background of these photos.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
What is happening?
There's just no way she's not in those
But I
pictures.
mean, she's a family friend at this point. So they called me security. I, like, a lot of the things she says, like, I could very much see being said not as complimentary as she thinks that it was.
Right.
Like, people are like, oh, okay. Like, people were kind of like passive aggressively starting
being sarcastic. Yeah. Then she was on her way to the first look with the fiance. And then she had not met Kiana's fiance until this moment.
Oh, well,
spoiler alert, he does not end up liking her very much.
Well, you know, she came in hot.
She's like, it's me, your cousin. You just don't know me yet.
Literally.
Everyone, including the groom, is on board with the quote unquote fiance fucking album.
Well, so really? No, but so that I just have to wonder, like, you just said 2 seconds ago you never met him before. So was one of the first sentences out of your mouth like, okay,
are you okay with the fiance?
Okay, Hebs, this is what we're gonna do. Like, also after she'd been told originally that he doesn't really like TikTok.
Right. Oh my God, this is his participation. Oh my God.
Oh, I hate it. Everyone's really having a good time with it, though, she says.
And honestly, he seems happy enough. Like, he's, he's doing it.
Because maybe it's taking 5 seconds, but then...
Oh my God. She says, well, at least that's what it looks like. Until... ... Oh my God. They probably at this point were like, okay, it's been fun, girly pop. you may go home.
That's the thing. It's like everyone's like, okay, like we were having fun, but please, we need to.
I know we invited you, but why are you actually here? I was helping with photos, making sure everyone looks good and catching things that the photographer and videographer was missing to make sure they had picture perfect photos.
They don't need 360 coverage of every moment of this wedding.
You know what your job is? Okay, you did makeup and you did hair.
Make sure they look
And I used to stay on shoots and do touch-ups. Excuse me 1 second. Let me touch her up. Make sure she's looking good.
Yeah.
That's it. That is the extent of it. You do not tell a photographer what to do. Like, hey, why don't you get her from this angle? Look at your angles when you were filming, ma'am. You shouldn't be talking.
Well, and also she should be focusing on whether or not touch-ups are needing to be done, not like how she's framing her shot.
Got a quick video of the groom. Still not much conversation. I asked him to use his lighter and he was kind enough to allow me to. That was about it.
So that also makes me wonder, and I feel like I haven't seen anyone talk about this. I know that people like to smoke. What did she need a lighter for during this moment?
Obviously either weed or cigarettes. Either or, to me,
is out of control when you're only there for 2 hours.
Well, it is out of control when you're touching people's face and like
when you're working at a wedding.
The smell. Someone who did my facial once was a smoker and like left to smoke, and it was the most it actually like nauseated me. Like I don't think they realized
there's
how bad
so few circumstances and as someone that has definitely been on shoots when I have very much smoked, and I've even offered weed, not cigarettes, and I've even offered to people, but I don't know if that's what this was. Maybe she needed it for some kind of other I don't know what it'd be, burning the end of an eyeliner or something.
Yeah, like 2008.
Yeah, I don't know. Because when I read that, I was like, why would you need a lighter? You're only supposed to be there for 2 hours. You can wait until you're done. One, this is kind of a time crunch. Two, very unprofessional, very,
Agreed.
What?
Yeah. She says, he seemed nice. I mean, we barely spoke, so I don't know. It's did he seem nice then? Or are you not sure? I'm just kind of confused.
Oh my God, I just want to know so badly what she needed it for, because it's giving, some of the bridesmaids were smoking, and she was like, oh my God, that looks great. I'm going to go join them, or something Well, what do we have here? I think I may have answered my own question. If you're listening, basically she's filming the mother of the bride smoking a cigarette, which, I mean, no, we can't see her smoking a cigarette, and also, this isn't from the same wedding, I think, because this is not the same mother of the bride we saw earlier, but typically most people don't hang out when people are taking smoke breaks, unless they're smoking as well. I'm gonna guess that's why she was with the mother of the bride here, and it wasn't just getting content for the bride, you know? Anyway, yeah, so definitely not cigarette smoking. That's definitely not what she was doing. She probably was, though. Okay, that's it, bye. Weed would be actually insane.
Right? Just getting high and filming content.
I mean,
dog shit.
Don't get me wrong. I would thrive a few years ago. That would be me. But also, smoking a blunt?
I would even be against it. If someone invited me to their wedding and I was doing their makeup, I wouldn't even drink.
That's the thing.
I think there's a line. Not us at work drinking, but it's different. Okay, we're at our house. It says, after that, I asked the groomsmen, and again, all vendors, if it was okay if we did more of the quote unquote fiance anthem. How long is this?
I need to see the fucking final feature fiance film? Anthem.
I have to.
Something tells me it's not uploaded.
Something tells me it wasn't even good.
The powers that be strike yet again. We have now seen the infamous fiance anthem, and as Jesse predicted, it could have been better. I'll let you watch. Hopefully it's not copyrighted.
Just like that, she's off the market. All her girls like, period. And all his boys like, yeah. And all she wanna say is my fiance. Every other word is my fiance. Let me tell you all about my fiance. This my ring from my fiance. He was on his A game. She was shook like, okay. I'ma give her my last name. And I'ma have his baby. She is about to be a wife. And all her friends say,
Anyway, just thought you guys would want to see that. Back to us.
Oh, they kind of looked into it. And it says clearly they didn't mind because they were nice and did it.
Yeah, but maybe then they found out that you were doing it for 5 hours earlier too.
Right. But before we continue, we really quickly want to thank today's second sponsor, and that's HelloFresh.
HelloFresh is a personal favorite of mine because you guys know I do not like to cook. So getting the pre-portioned ingredients and everything. Oh, by the way, if you're living under a rock, HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit where you get farm fresh, pre-proportioned ingredients all sent right to your door. And it makes cooking easy, fun, and affordable.
And with an ever-changing menu of over 50 recipes to choose from every week, you can just pick your meals and your delivery date. They make it super easy to skip if you don't want it a certain week. And if you have a dietary dietary restriction, they make it super easy to customize your box that way. So they have veggie, protein swaps, things like that. And we actually have a very cool offer for you guys. So you can get free breakfast for life if you go over to HelloFresh.com/freedwkt. So as long as your subscription is active with HelloFresh, you're gonna get a free breakfast item in every single box forever.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
So if you want to get free breakfast for life, go to HelloFresh.com/freedwkt, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah, free breakfast for life. And thank you so much to HelloFresh for being an amazing sponsor of this podcast. She says, I was vibing with the groomsmen and having so much fun with them. They loved me. They kept asking me to stay and said I was dope and a good time. They talked to me the entire time. I laughed with them and hung out with them for a bit.
People just say stuff like that. You don't need to, like, she's taking it way too literally.
First of all the groomsmen are drunk. Okay, like I'm
That's
talking
them,
right now.
like-
They were all drunk. I see them. They all have drinks in their hand. But also, besides that, that's fine. I'm sure you are a good time. Like I'm not even trying to say you're
And
not.
I'm not even saying don't go to the wedding, but it's just like, stop trying to act like you were like, this was a rare occurrence where she couldn't say no because they were all obsessed with her. Like,
Yeah, I think that she's just laying it on a little bit too thick for my taste, where it could be like, hey, we all vibed. I saw it differently, whatever. But like, she's just like constantly being like, it was the best time. They loved me. Everyone loved me. I was dope and they knew it. It's like,
at the end of the day, I like
believe
that.
you.
Even if all of that was true and you were just the funnest time ever, you need to be aware that you are doing a job and this is a professional thing, and that when you cross those boundaries, things can get messy really quick.
It says, I got back to the venue to get some content of the reception room, but it wasn't done. Not her filming the incomplete reception room. That is diabolical.
Why?
Girl, get
Why
outta
are you
here. How'd
filming
even get
it
in here?
anyway? What? Who is this
Literally.
for?
It was about 6:15 p.m. and the bridal party had come back to do rehearsal before the ceremony. I ended up misplacing the groom's lighter, but he found it on the table I left it on in the same room we were in. Random fact, okay.
Oh, we'll get ready because she brings it up again.
Oh no, not the lighter.
He seemed like he had a little attitude about it, but it's a lighter.
Ooh, I would have ran to my car to get him another one, if anything. Why didn't you go to get yours in the first place? He also found it, so I figured it was over. Not her thinking the whole beef is about the lighter.
I
Is
know.
that
I'm
what
like,
it is?
no, that was probably just another thing that annoyed him because you
Oh
were
my God.
distracted and just like all over the place. Also, some people are very protective of their lighters. I gave the bride a touch up before her ceremony. She assured me I was good and I could stay, and she loved my energy.
Okay.
Were you
period.
asking? Like, I just want to know what these conversations were like.
After the ceremony, I went to the cocktail hour to eat and get a drink. I didn't talk to many people and I stopped recording because I was so tired. As you should be. Like, why are, why are
cool.
you
No
still
one.
working?
What would you be filming anyway?
After I ate, I went into the bridal suite to get my brush bag and take it to the car. The bride and groom were in there, so I quickly grabbed it and left out.
You went into the bridal suite where the bride and the groom were after the wedding. It's like, that's
true.
That's their.
They could have been fucking.
They could have been, but like that's like their moment of peace in the entire night.
Literally.
And you're just like,
she's like, actually,
don't mind me.
They're like, this bitch again.
Like, are you fucking kidding? Like, I just poked my head in real quick.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm dying to know how she gets kicked out. Okay, this is part 3. When I came back into the venue, I went to get more food because it wasn't much food at the cocktail hour.
Yeah, well, it's
and
not
it was
supposed to be.
around
It's hors d'oeuvres.
7:30. Period. She's been there all day, but again, you didn't have to be. But also, okay, whatever. Anyway,
That's why you leave and go. Like,
that's why you go.
your
home
job
and
is
get
done.
food,
You've
yeah.
been working for 12 hours. I was on my feet all day, and all I had was a bagel. So leave.
The way that would have been my motivation to leave. I would have, like, if I'm hungry, I'm out. Like, I can't. I'm not staying
And
here.
you do this for your job. You see weddings all the time. Like, this isn't, oh my God, I'm never going to get this opportunity again. You've been working for 12 hours. You don't have any more work to do, and you're hungry. So I don't know.
Go home.
What are the options? Leave.
It is now about 7:50 p.m. and Melissa, the photographer, told me she was going into the reception area to get some footage of how it looked finished.
She's like, don't worry, girl. I already got it unfinished. I got you covered. I'll email it to you later.
Wait, what? Of course I didn't miss the opportunity. I did just that. Wait. Melissa was telling you she was going in to get the photos, not come in and get the photos. Like, she was saying, I'm going to go in and get photos. She's like, well, I'm not going to miss an opportunity to get those photos.
Oh my God, what do you mean?
This wedding was absolutely stunning. The vendors really did their thing.
So here's what I'm going to ask. If you had the opportunity to have like stabilized, high quality 4K footage of your wedding venue, more vertical, shaky-handed footage from this woman who you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Which are you gonna
tough call.
go with?
How is she gonna do all this and not even have a gimbal? I mean, honestly.
I guess maybe this is the beginning of her content creation package that she's gonna start offering. But it's like, I'm surprised she doesn't have fucking like 3 selfie sticks like attached to her at all times because she likes to get every angle.
Oh, brother, here we go. It says, I finally see the bride and groom and I haven't finished the fiance anthem TikTok we've been doing all day. I asked the bride. Oh my God. I asked the bride if we can film another portion of the video. When I tell you, if you didn't get it done before the wedding, skedaddle on out of here. There is no realm in which you finish that at the fucking reception. Are you joking? And you know that like photographers and videographers, after the like the vows and all that stuff, and you're doing the actual wedding, they pull you away before the reception to
for like
do
at least an hour.
And it's so annoying. Imagine getting back from that and then the bitch who did your makeup
after she already interrupted you during your like few moments in the bridal suite.
Insane.
Is what
I'm sorry, that's insane. The groom immediately says no, very aggressive. Ooh. Then he goes on to tell me, we're not doing any more TikToks. You're getting on my fucking nerves. Ooh.
I mean, harsh, but
not kind. I think she misread a few vibes before we got here because it does, like from her story, it would seem so jarring. Here she says, I was so confused because I didn't do anything to that man all day. I barely said anything to him.
That was the point though. One of the first things you did say to him was about a fucking TikTok, and he was like, oh, what?
This is weird though, because then she goes on to say, the bride then says to me, well, you're not getting on mine. He's just cranky. Don't mind him. Do I get that? Like someone who's like a people pleaser, like if Nassim ever said something out of turn, I would definitely like say something to fix it because I would just be like,
just try and diffuse the situation.
Yeah, I think she probably felt bad that he spoke to her like that, as she should. You don't have to say that. Obviously. She says, I immediately burst out in tears. I hadn't realized that I had been holding in and ignoring all my pain all day. I mean, obviously that's sad, but yeah. I've contemplated giving up on weddings so many times because of the way I get treated in the industry from clients and vendors. Super fair, by the way. I think separate, like on a completely separate note from her content creating, it is a very hard industry to stay in long term.
But it seems like a very different, like, that didn't happen here.
It seemed like everybody was nice to her. Vendors were nice to her.
Yes, and you just maybe did too much.
Didn't read the signs and then just pushed it a little bit too far.
Yeah.
God is trying to tell me to get out of this industry. I was kicked out of a wedding.
She says, by the way, I'm a Gemini, so it takes a lot to get me here. I was overwhelmed with stress and sadness due to all the events this weekend. By all the events, does she mean like her being cheated on? Because up until like an hour ago, it seems like everything was fine. You were bringing all the vibes, all the energy, everyone loved you, and then just things took a turn.
Yeah.
And then
just things took a turn. Very emotional, crying this entire clip.
Out of a wedding for doing absolutely nothing. I've never been kicked out of anywhere, and I'm so hurt. Like I feel like in this industry there's no space for me, and I love this industry so much, and I love working.
Sometimes it feels like there's no space for a girl like me running a company like this. It seems like there is though, because you've been very successful. There's not room for you to do a job that you didn't get booked for though.
So I think that some people, again, may have more issues understanding what people really mean, what the vibe actually is. And I think that she would benefit because she is talented. And I think that this was a mistake that she made. I do think that she would benefit from just like really firm boundaries and just being like, okay, I leave after I do your makeup. And like, if you want touch-ups, this is the strict guidelines regarding them. And I'm out.
Well, it's like that these are your clients, not your friends.
Yeah. And they will act like your friends. And hopefully, I mean, that's a good thing. Like you can all be very friendly that day and you're a very important part of their day. You're not just like the work that people are just like stepping all over. Like that shouldn't ever be acceptable.
But don't overshadow your work by like, she's bringing way too much of herself into this and making it too much about her when it's like the whole thing is supposed to be about the bride.
I 100% agree. And it seems like she was just, this has all been deleted. So I don't really want to show too much of like her sobbing in her car.
No, and that's honestly, that was the clip I was referencing earlier where it's like, I don't care if you were totally in the right. Why are you posting this on your business account? Also, like,
it was.
This is not making you look good for future situations because it's just making you look like a little unhinged. And even if you were treated poorly or anything, posting something like this, definitely have more boundaries between like personal and professional in terms of how much of yourself you're putting into basically just the perception of your business. Like, people shouldn't open your business account and see a video of you crying about like how you're not made out for this.
Well,
like,
that could arguably be why she deleted it, you know? Like, she probably was like, this isn't a good look.
Hi, girlies. So we kind of missed a major part that I feel like you need to see for context, which is, the end of her story time about how she got kicked out. Seems kind of important. Here it is.
The footage that I got to get from the wedding, but I'll continue to tell you guys the story. I hadn't realized that I've been ignoring my pain the entire day, so I really hadn't realized what I was going through, and I've been having such a good time with these people, and I felt so much love that I couldn't even believe that this groom was talking to me that way, especially when I hadn't done anything to him. I hadn't done anything to anybody that day. The only thing I did was show up, do my best, and be my best. I just wanted to make sure that this bridal party really enjoyed. I just wanted to do everything that I could to make sure that the day was perfect for them. But obviously, I was doing something to get on somebody's nerves. As I am bursting out in tears, the bride is consoling me, and she's like, no, like, I don't want you to leave. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm really in tears because I just can't believe that all this stuff is happening to me this weekend. Most of other personal problems that I got going on in my life. I'm in this crazy space. I was just so emotional. I couldn't do nothing but break down. I just felt so weak. I felt so made a fool out of. I felt so vulnerable. Like I was being kicked while I was already down. And I just felt like I had given this bridal party everything that I had. I didn't have much to give, but I gave it. I gave it all I got. I gave it all my energy. Y'all can see, I literally went above and beyond. I was on my feet for over 12 hours. I was giving it everything I had. I just want everything to be special for them. I knew I wasn't in the best space, but I'm like, these people are literally having one of the biggest days of their life. Like, I just want to make sure that this shit goes well, and I just want it to just be good vibes and good energy. So I decide I'm going to leave. I told the bride, I said, I'm just going to go ahead and leave. I don't want to be ruining anybody's day. My heart broke in that moment. I've never had that happen to me. I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, my bride, I went out to my car. I think I went to the store to just get something. And I was like, you know what, my bride doesn't want me to leave. I was like, I might as well just stay. So I went back and I drove into the botanical garden. I parked right back in the same spot that I was parked at. Before I walked in there, I was like, you know what, go back, get what you need. You are stronger than that. Don't let nobody break you.
I didn't know what she meant here when she's like, oh, go back and get what you need. I'm like, well, it sounds like you needed to be told to leave because you aren't taking the hint on your own. But the more I thought about it, I realized, of course, she needed to get more content. She hadn't finished filming the wedding. The wedding where one of the two people getting married just cussed her out and clearly doesn't want her there, but he didn't ask her to leave. So maybe it was just a misunderstanding. Anyway, she just needed to go back and finish filming the content that no one asked for and no one wanted and that you literally just got yelled at over. But gotta go back and get that fiancé anthem. I mean, that is content that I think we can all agree the world needs. And apparently the bride needs, even though she doesn't have social media to even post on. But, semantics. Anyway.
Down. So I went back in there, and I went back in there with my head held. When I got back in there, I went straight into the cocktail hour. I had my head held high. I'm not gonna let nobody break me down. I'm good. Like, maybe he just had a moment. Maybe he just needed to cool off. I did nothing to him. I sit down and, I see the bride and we're talking and she's like, you're good. Like, you're fine. Her mom telling me, stay. Like, we really love you being here. We love your energy. The mommy and her, we still just vibing. It's still just like a vibe. I mean, I dusted off. I was like, let me let that go. Then I go back out of the cocktail hour and I go and sit down with a couple groomsmen. So I'm sitting with the groomsmen, I'm chilling. They're like, yo, you look tired. I'm like, yo, I've been on my feet since like 7 o'clock this morning. I left out at like 6 o'clock in the morning to just get here. So I've been on my feet all day. Like, I ain't really had no breaks. I had a bagel and then I just eat some food from this cocktail hour. After that, one of the assistant planners came up to me and she goes, can I talk to you to the side? And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't even feel like getting up here. I'm just ready to get the last couple shots of these videos and this content that I need for this wedding, and I'm ready to go. So I told her, I was like, if you got something to say, you could just say it right here. Like, it's fine. Like, it's not even that deep at this point. She goes, oh, like, the couple does not want you here anymore, so you're gonna have to leave. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, I'm trying to process what's happening. The couple wants me to leave. Like, what did I do? Like, I'm just so confused. On top of that, this is just like super embarrassing. But I would have went to the side with her or not. This is something that I know was being talked about. So it's already just embarrassing. It didn't matter. This is my reputation. This is my company. I'm self-made. I built this on my own. And this is just like crazy. And I didn't do anything to anybody. I'm so confused. So I end up getting up and I start walking by. And again, I'm about to burst out in tears because I'm just like, nah, like, there's no way that all of this stuff is happening. There's just no way. So I pulled the bride and I was like, oh, can you come here? And she was like, oh, you about to leave? I see you or whatever. So I was like, nah, like, come here. So I understand that you and your husband want me to leave. I was like, I didn't do anything to anybody. I don't even know what's happening. Like, I'm so confused. Now I'm saying I'm about to start crying again because I'm just really confused. So I was like, you know what? Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your wedding day or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Mind you, I see security literally watching me. So y'all were about to get a security guard to remove me from out the wedding as if I need to be forced out, like as if I'm begging to be here. Like, for real? When I tell y'all, it was so embarrassing and so crazy because I literally did nothing to nobody at this wedding. I do appreciate to the bride for being apologetic about what happened. That was crazy and it was unacceptable. It was disrespectful. I maybe think I was the only black vendor. I don't know. I'm the only black vendor that I saw, and I was treated that way. That was fucked up. That was mad fucked up what y'all did to me. I only gave y'all good energy that day, and that was so fucked up. And I'm gonna leave it on this note. When your light shine as bright as mine do, my light shines so bright, people can't take it. They can't take me in this industry. They can't take it. My light shines so bright. This company is 5-star rated across the board. I have never in my life been removed from anywhere. I've always been professional, and anybody that worked with me can tell you, I've always been professional. I've always been organized, and I'm gonna stay on my shit. I will never let nobody, I don't care who it is, I'm never gonna let nobody bring me down. I'm never gonna let nobody make me want to quit what I do. I'm gonna keep doing what I do for black women, and I'm gonna keep going up in this wedding industry. And if you can't stand that my light shines so bright, fuck you.
Well, I think we can all agree that was something. A choice. Apparently not the right choice because she deleted this only before she put up an apology that we're about to react to. So back to us. Don't worry, I'll be back after that though because she deleted that apology and now there's a new one up too. See you in a sec.
She does apologize. Notably, this was also deleted. This was posted on her business account and deleted very quickly. So it's like, I feel like at this point, she probably stands by the point that she shouldn't have posted any of this. And I would hope that this has caused a lot of like self-reflection on how she wants to do things. And, you know, the general consensus of people like, hey, don't do that. Like, don't film in the middle of the fucking aisle when somebody's getting a first kiss. Like, you're guaranteed in the fucking video and photos. Like, don't do that. I think that she's got it. I think that she realizes that.
It comes down to respect what you were being paid to be doing at that. Like, what is your job, and do that, and don't.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. And at the same time, you have to understand that even though it is your job, further than that, you have been invited into someone's space on a very important day.
The best thing you could do in a situation like that is, yes, to make the whole day run as smoothly as possible. And to do that, yeah, you can keep the bride happy, be friendly with her.
Right.
But make just the smallest footprint you possibly can. Like, you do not want people having to worry about what you're doing when they have 80 million other things to be worrying about.
I think of her like talking to the vendors and being like, hey, can I film this? Hey, can I do that? Hey, can I finish this? And I think of it as like when I'm sitting in a restaurant with like my dad who complains to waiters and stuff. Like, I think of it as like you're sitting there and you're seeing that happen and it makes you uncomfortable. Even someone just asking, like you don't even have to do the thing. Asking and like trying to get in people's way, it's taxing. It stresses people out, especially if you're like a people pleaser, like always wanting everyone to like not hate you. The bride was probably feeling that, but not wanting you to be heard at the same time. I could relate to that 100%. Would I have told her straight to her face, fuck off, I'm not filming that TikTok with you? No, of course not. But it's a lot. Like, you need to be aware that that's a lot to ask of anyone on their wedding day. There's a lot of shit going on.
Well, and that's even with the vendors and stuff. It's like, I feel like an asshole because I don't mean this like in life. I just mean like for these kind of professions, you should be like a fly on the wall. Like, you should be coming in, swooping in, getting what you need. Stay out of the way, I think, is the main thing with like high stress situations and like productions. A wedding is very much a production, and like it's a bunch of moving pieces. You should not be like drawing attention to yourself. Like, you should literally be doing as much as you need to be doing and then leaving.
I know.
You need to be doing
that
and
is
then
the
leaving.
truth. It sounds harsh for sure.
And not even leaving like
but...
that, like she could stay. That's fine. But like, stay and don't be like in the middle of the dance circle.
Well,
like,
even no, I don't even think being in the middle of the dance circle is a problem. I think that when the bride and groom are so exhausted from all the shit that's led up from the fucking early morning to now, and you being like, wait, can we actually film the fiance out? But like,
no, for sure. Well, I just mean more of like, you don't want the bride, the guests, anyone the next day, all everyone's talking about is like that makeup, even if you were a great time. Like, you shouldn't be making it so it's like you're the point of conversation where it's like, oh, did you see that makeup artist? Like, no, like that should not be something that, I don't know. It just feels weird.
I agree. But this is the
Hello, everybody. I'm going to make this video as short as I possibly can. And I want to make it as quick as possible. I want to start off by apologizing to the bride that I worked with on September 7th, 2024, Kiana. I am so sorry for any distress that I have caused you behind the content that I posted. To all the bridesmaids and the bridal party, I am so sorry to any stress that I have caused you. I never meant for this to get out of hand the way that it did. And I hate that it happened. So I'm going to take accountability. I apologize. I am deeply sorry. I'm going to remove all of the videos because I don't want to cause you any more stress in your life. You just got married. You don't deserve a whole bunch of stress in your life. And again, I'm deeply sorry for what happened. My intentions is never, ever to make any brides that I work with feel uncomfortable, feel stressed out, feel overwhelmed, That is never my intentions at any wedding that I'm ever working. I'd also like to address the agreement that I have with the brides. In my agreement that I have with the brides, we are able to film content and we are able to use the content. So that is something that is in our agreement. We have had brides who say, no, we do not want to be on social media. We are not social media people. Please, no phones. And we've had to not pull out our phones at weddings, and that's fine. We've had brides who...
There's a difference between recording the wedding and like getting content wwhere you're fucking directing them and stuff.
I'm sorry, but nobody's gonna sign an agreement with a makeup and hair stylist and just be like, oh my gosh, they're probably talking about filming my entire wedding and the shoes and touching my shoes and my
and
dress.
like literally asking me to do
thinking.
trends and like all this. Like, no.
I haven't seen the agreement. I don't know if it specifies it. I'm just saying it's weird. Like, you wouldn't.
And I doubt it gets.
That.
I think it probably is a pretty blanket statement that doesn't get into specifics. But like, also read the room and see, like, I don't know. I mean, clearly she doesn't know how to do that. But I just think she's like not understanding just kind of general social cues around weddings in general. Like, which is weird, because that's what her entire profession's around.
I also want to address being at weddings and cocktail hours. So whenever we go to a cocktail hour or whenever we go to a wedding, it is never like without anybody giving us permission to go. We are always, most of the time, we are asked if we want to stay for the cocktail hour. And a lot of times we are invited to the weddings and we get personal invites to go to these weddings. So we're never just at anybody's cocktail hour, just chilling, doing whatever we want to do. I would never want somebody to do that at my wedding, and I would never do that at somebody else's wedding. I think that is unprofessional. You being somewhere where somebody told you that you weren't allowed to go.
I mean, I would hope not, that you wouldn't do that if you weren't invited.
Well, and even if you were, it's not like, yeah, come party. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that that's what she was doing, but it's like, you can go, but you're still working, technically. Like, you are still a vendor for that wedding. Like, you are not one of their friends. You don't, like, let your hair down and do what it, like,
I would say that, again, I don't give
have a
shit,
professional
honestly.
vibe,
Like, if it
I
was
think.
my wedding, would I do that? Like, go and have drinks and all that stuff? No, I wouldn't. But also, at the same time, if it was my wedding, would I give a shit if the makeup artist, I invited her and, like, she was drinking and, like, dancing with everyone? I wouldn't mind that at all. I think that it depends on the person. But I think that where she went wrong was overstepping. Like, she's saying, oh, I'm security. Oh, I'm this and that. I'm talking to the videographers. Photographers could do this better. Nobody needed that.
Not known.
Like, if you're only known because you're like a party animal and you're like doing the worm on the fucking dance floor, then go off. Like, but that's not what you're known for. You're stepping in where you were not asked to step in, and it got annoying to the point that the groom lashed out on you, which wasn't okay. But like, I can see how that got to that point.
Yeah.
But whenever we do go to weddings or cocktail hours, we are certainly invited by the couple. I also wanted to address the talk around me being a content creator. I'm a makeup artist, which makes me a content creator. If you scroll...
I understand what she means. I do, in the sense that, like, I think nowadays, if you want to have any actual success in your career as a makeup artist, you would have to have some presence on social media. But
where you make content about the makeup.
A good amount of people that don't. Oh yeah, no, the random content about the shoes
Beyonce
and dresses,
anthem?
I don't think is necessary.
No, like, sorry.
The content that she's choosing to post isn't always necessarily very make or break. Like, I feel like she could just stick to the makeup and do just fine. That's what most people do.
Like, she's mixing it as like a personal and professional outlet, it seems.
Down into any of my social media, you can see that I have been filming like this with brides. This is something that I have been doing for a while now. This is not something that is new to me. It's something that I have been doing since I started the business. That is how brides get drawn to us, because they're able to view our work on social media. I'm also going to address my personality. I saw a lot of the comments saying that I'm very overbearing. I do too much. I know that I'm a very loud person. And I also just like to joke. That's how my brides bond with me. From the time we start the consultation call till the time that they see me on their wedding day, we have so many conversations. My brides will text me and they'll say, you know, because I got another question. I'm like, what's up? And they ask me stuff about the wedding day. I'm reassuring them. They'll call me. They're somewhere because what was that product you said I needed? So I have so many interactions with my brides leading up to their wedding day, because they're booking like 12 months to a year and a half out. And most brides tell me that they went ahead and booked with me because they loved my personality so much.
I hate this because
I'm
like,
sure.
I believe that. And I am someone that is very, like, if I hire someone, I'm not like treating them like an employee. I'm like having very candid, like casual conversations with them. And maybe she can like get to the point where even before the wedding, she does consider you a friend. But as a professional who owns a business, you do have to realize there is a line, and it might be a very delicate line where it's not necessarily the easiest to gauge, but like there's a difference between like being like really like fun and personable and overstepping and like getting in the way.
I think that she's mistaking a lot of things for like a full go ahead, like, yeah, do whatever you want.
It's
like
0 to 60.
You know what's best for me almost. Like, you know what's going to turn out the best. And like, I trust you. They don't know you. A trial, yes, I get it. I had many trials with brides. You sit and you talk and you get to know each other, and you can even joke about things that would be deemed inappropriate. It's a service industry job. Yeah. Have you ever spoken to a hairstylist? I think I told my hairstylist, like, literally.
It's like therapy.
Way too much shit.
Yeah,
it haunts me actually. But like, it's something about the ambiance.
Exactly. And I don't think she should be like, oh, can I not be myself? I'm like, that's not the problem.
Well, you being a good time. I mean, do I think that you stopping like probably every 5 seconds to talk and like
I mean, that could lead to problems, but
don't do
if you can get your shit done, then whatever.
If you can get your shit done, no problem. Your vibe, like, you shouldn't lose that. What you should lose is stepping on people's toes. The creating the content thing, if you want to film a trend, that needs to be filmed before the wife leaves your chair, like, period.
It can't interfere with everyone like doing what they need to do, or like their moments of peace in between the chaotic
and it's
moments.
Not even to be rude. It's just like, hey, like, don't, like, that's not cool. That's
disrespectful.
Rude.
Yeah.
But I feel bad because she's interpreting it as like, you're a bad person. Like, no, you're not. And your personality doesn't need to be dulled down. That's not, I'm sure that having a personality, it's like a leg up in this industry.
It is going to get you referrals because if people like you, they don't want, I always say this, but like, people don't want to work with people they don't like. So like, obviously they want to have fun with you and stuff. Again, there's a line that you need to not cross and you need to just be aware of. And I feel like oftentimes even the bride, like, they might not really have a line, but you need to have the line because something like this could happen where it's like you would suddenly feel blindsided, but it's like, no, there were signs.
Yeah, there was this one girl that did my makeup at a Bobbi Brown counter once. And honestly, I love her and I will stay friends with her forever, like on social media and stuff. I never even really loved the way she did my makeup, but she was so much fucking fun. I had her do my makeup for red carpets, a bunch of shit. And if I had to fix it a little when I got home, I did. I was like, you know what? It's not even a problem because you're so much fun and I love you. And I just love like sitting in your chair and you're great. I understand how a personality could sell 100%. You. Like, it totally makes sense.
And that's probably how she's been so successful.
And it's so funny because it's like, just do less. It would be easier for you. Just do less work. Don't add content creation into it unless it's like a trend you could film in the moment. Like, that's fine if they agree to it. But do it quick and don't let it be taxing. Like, it's kind of like, you know, when you agree to do something, like I used to do this all the time with my cousins. Like, we used to film a lot of shit when we were younger and like create videos and stuff. And I would like fucking hate my life after agreeing to something with them because I'm like, oh, what did I even agree to, bitch? Like, this is too much.
Or like, it starts fun and then like
fucking day thing.
They gave you a little and you took a lot. Like, it's
That's
just
what it feels like
you got way too into it. And I think she's taking people as saying like, you need to do less as like her as a person and like her personality. It's like, not that. It's that you need to not insert your personality then into things where it was not invited.
Honestly, girl, content creation, cut it. Cut it at least 90%. That's it. And then like just do it bare minimum for social media.
If that's what you want to do, then make sure that it's very explicitly agreed upon and that that's something they want. And it's not you projecting that you think they want it, because it seems like she really thought she was like giving them something. But again, it brings me back to Delilah at the, like, that's what I do. I just, it was my gift. And it's like, no,
take it back.
Bad gift. No one wanted it.
I don't want it.
Receipt.
With them, they always say, oh, I know we're gonna have a really good time on our wedding day. A lot of brides say that to me, and again, I've been in this, I've had this team for almost 5 years. And after being in the industry for a while, I started to learn that it wasn't just my skill the reason brides loved me. It was my personality. I would get so many like thank you cards and so many like, you know, like videos, and like brides are like, yo, like, look at this picture that we took at the wedding. Like, thank you again so much. It became a thing, and it fed the company. And that's what made everybody excited. That's what made the brides excited about booking us. That it just became a thing.
Keep doing that.
I'm also going to a address the narrative that's being played around with, that I was asked to leave the wedding twice. I was not asked to leave the wedding twice. I was asked to leave the wedding one time. The first time I did leave the wedding because the groom cursed at me. It was just really unexpected, and I thought it was really uncalled for. I didn't think I needed to be cursed at. If anybody wanted me to leave in that moment, I thought it was a perfect time, because it was only me, the groom, and the bride standing there. Thought it was a perfect time to be like, Keziah, like, you know, like, I think that's enough. Like, we're done with this. Like, you know, thank you so much for the day. And then I would have just, you know, went on out.
If the groom cussed me out, I'd be like, that's my signal to leave. Like,
wait, but did she not leave after that? I think she did.
I don't think she left because she said she cried. And then the bride came over to like console her.
Well, I'm sure she didn't like run out the door with all her shit.
Exactly.
But she probably left right after that.
Well, I mean, she was around enough for the bride to come console her. So I think she has a whole section in that third video where she is talking. And it's after that, then I guess she stayed. And to me, they wouldn't have to ask me to leave. I would feel so uncomfortable and be like, oh, no, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
no,
not welcome here anymore.
Same.
But she took the bride as being like, no, like, don't listen to him, as it's fine. You should definitely stay. And then after that, I don't know what she did to provoke this, but apparently that's when the wedding planner came over and asked her to leave. But then she supposedly, like, she was crying in that video. She went back after that.
Oh, really?
It was like, you know what?
That's
Never
insane.
mind. I'm going to go back. And it's like, no,
girl,
stay.
just
keep
go.
Just
home.
keep going.
Way too lately. I should have never came back. So I'll take full accountability for that.
Okay.
I do want to address the groom and the way that you talked to me. I just thought that it was really disrespectful. I thought it was hurtful. And I just really think that it was uncalled for. I didn't need to be cursed at in that moment, especially when I've only had maybe 2 to 3 interactions with you. I just didn't deserve to be cursed at. I've never cursed at anybody at a wedding. I'm not disrespectful to anybody at the wedding. I'm not using, you know, foul language towards anybody in any aggressive way. That's not how I go about weddings. Brides who have worked with me know this. Any vendors who have worked with me know this. When anybody walks in the room, I say hello because that's how I was raised. I've never been disrespectful at a wedding. The reason that I started the Key Look was because I saw that there was something missing in the wedding industry. There's not a lot of Black owned hair and makeup teams. You know, a lot of Black women can't get ready with their bridal parties on the day of because they can't find a team that can work with all skin tones and all hair types. And that was really important to me to fill that space because I'm like, you know, I'm Black. Like, I'm Black. I have a lot of different kinds of friends. You know, I have friends with all different hair types, different skin tones. And I want them to feel and look beautiful on my wedding day, too. So that's why I started the Key.
Not to make content, though. That's the problem. Like, why are she's lumping it all in together?
Yeah, I wish that, you know, she would understand that all of those things are amazing. And again, she's talented and she's good at what she does.
And she should keep doing it.
Yeah, do I think the industry needs her? Yeah, absolutely. Like, I do think that, you know, there needs to be more people. I mean, you see it all the time where a Black woman will hire someone to do her makeup and it's a fucking disaster. And it's just, you don't want that on the most important day of your life. I think that what she does is important.
And own what you're good at.
Stop filming shit that you don't need to film. Stop doing too much. And honestly, it's more of advice personally for her if she wants longevity in her business, because if she has done it for 5 years, if you want this to last 20 years, girl, stop overextending yourself for something that nobody asked you to do. Like,
focus
you don't
on
have to do
the
that.
expertise you have to offer, which is
you're
very
not
valuable.
an editor,
and
you're
people
not a videographer.
want.
You don't even own a gimbal.
And just because it's on your account that is successful doesn't mean that that's the reason it's successful. There's other content on there too, like examples of your makeup.
Yeah, no. And also, like, you can do trends and stuff, fine. I think that that's a little bit pushy.
Yeah.
But like, if they're down to do it
If
and
they're
you
quick.
read the vibe and it's good, whatever, fine. But there's so much content you can create from not getting in people's way on the most important
Exactly.
day.
But it's just like all of her interpretations of like these interactions just seems skewed.
Yeah, it seems like she definitely interprets them a different way than everyone else does, to put it nice. There is a weird circumstance where a creator who was talking about this on TikTok went on live, and one of the bridesmaids, Rachel, the one that she loved so much.
Multiple, I think, came in eventually.
I think it was 2.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I actually see a comment from Rachel right here. It says here, as one of the maid of honors of the wedding, I'm living for everyone's reactions, which notably is not good. People were ripping her to shreds. I mean, like, read the fucking room. Like, are you joking? You ruined someone's special day, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, back to the live. A couple of people who were involved in the wedding, bridesmaids, I think Rachel herself came into it. And it's kind of long, so we're not going to get to the entire thing. But there's a few clips that we can react to. And this is one where apparently the bridesmaid shares an unknown detail about the wedding. Scandalous.
We heard, actually, someone just asked about the groomsmen. We heard that they were talking in their group chat today as well about this. But we weren't really over there. But we do know that she, like, insulted one of the groomsmen to his face, like called him short during the pictures, which again, like,
not the short.
Okay.
The guy that cheated on her was definitely short.
Real question. Do you think they confused it for the videographer?
Maybe.
Or like, do you deadass think she has something against short men?
Maybe. Or I think maybe her ex was short and now she has a vengeance.
I can't. When I heard short, I'm like, you're joking.
No, that's crazy.
Not again.
Like, what does she have against the short kings?
I think a big part of this, her conflict with the groom and maybe the groomsmen as well, is like, we spent all morning with her.
Is there short? No,
having a good time and bonding, but they don't know this woman. Like, she was not doing their makeup.
That's what I said earlier. I'm like, she probably came in real hot and was like,
she's like, I'm
throwing
your
out
cousin
nicknames
again.
and acting like they're all best friends. And they're like, who are you? And they're like, just kind of like, oh, I guess we're supposed to do this. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, she seemed to come in with a voice of authority, like she could be making decisions, and they're like, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, 100%.
Again, like, the last time the bride posted on social media was like 2018, so she's just not a social media girl. So to see her wedding blow up like this is like probably the funniest thing that could have happened.
She did that.
Yes, we had such a good day. And honestly, like, I'm mainly just disappointed because, like Rachel said, like, we were having such a good day. This was honestly kind of a small blip in the day until she started posting all this. Like, nobody on our side would have even posted about this or blew her up at all. She could have moved on, but posted all this. So now we had to like jump in her comments and defend our friend because we agree, obviously, it was like a beautiful day and she was very, very gracious to her. So it's disappointing to see her react like that, to be honest.
Well, and that's what I have to say. I'm like, what was the motive here? What were you trying to do?
It seems like it lacked a lot of foresight, her response to this and her putting it up. I don't know if she thought she was going to have some sort of gotcha moment, but even if she thought she was going to have that, who did you want that gotcha moment against? Because you seem to have bonded with the bride.
Yeah.
You seem to have wanted her to have a good day. And the bridesmaids and everyone, and you thought you were in with the family, like you thought you were one. So I failed to see what she thought was going to happen.
And that's why I said she needs to have much clearer boundaries for herself of personal and professional, and what is something that, like, this is not content and it's not going to make you look good either way, because it's going to make people leery before they book with you because they're like, what is she going to post if like something goes a little awry? Like, I just think in all scenarios, it makes her look not good and is not going to help her business.
I agree. And I think that her saying that makes total sense to me. It's like what you did on the actual wedding day, even though it might have annoyed a few people, like we were still
they were probably drunk
just
and
enjoying
forgot
the
about
wedding
it an hour later.
Yeah. It's just so weird that she then went on to post all of this. It seems like that was the greater issue, and people found that to be more offensive than what she actually did on the wedding day. I think all in all, girl, put the phone down.
I told you I'd be back. Now it's time for her follow-up apologies.
I wanted to come on here to apologize to the couple that I worked with last Saturday. I also want to apologize to the entire wedding party because y'all deserve an apology. I want to apologize to all of the guests that attended that wedding. Y'all deserve an apology. And I want to apologize to all of the wedding vendors that worked so hard to make sure that that couple had a beautiful wedding day. I sincerely apologize to all of y'all. It was never my intentions to cause any of y'all any stress, any hurt, or any pain. That was never my intentions. I'm a small business owner who operates with the utmost care and the utmost professionalism in this wedding industry. I started the Key Look about 5 years ago, and we've done over 500 weddings. And we worked all over the country, and we also have done weddings internationally. And before I started the Key Look, I saw that there was just a hole in the wedding industry for women of color, and it wasn't enough representation. So I wanted to offer a solution to women of color who were overlooked. that this is an option. You can have luxury grooming services on your wedding day. You can feel and look beautiful on your wedding day. And that is why I started The Key Look. As a small, self-funded minority business, we bank on social media. We use social media as a marketing tool so that we are able to reach potential brides or couples who would love to work with us on one of the biggest days of their life. And social media has, like, it has showed us, and it has been successful for us, which is why we just continue to use it in our business strategy so that we could constantly reach brides who are looking for something that we offer. So now that some time has passed, I am going to explain the story from my point of view of what took place that day. I totally understand that there are going to be others who have had different experiences of what that day looked like for them. But I'm going to explain what it looked like for me in the next video. Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry that it took so long for me to create the second video. It's just I've been working all day. I just wanted to come on here because I don't think that it's helpful for me to rehash the events of what happened that day. It's already enough out there. I just want to put this to rest out of respect for the couple. I listened to all the feedback, and I want y'all to know that I hear y'all. I take full responsibility for my actions, and I definitely recognize that there are things that I could have done better in this particular situation. I was emotional when I made those videos, and I also was emotional when I was on TikTok Live, but I'm human and we all make mistakes. I plan to learn from this, and I plan to make sure that we have strong communication with our clients before their event and on the day of their event. Our number one priority is to always put the client first and ensure that moving forward, nothing like this ever happens again. The bride and groom are good people, and it's just not fair that their special day is overshadowed with this. So I'm just going to leave this here, and I wish them a long and a happy marriage.
Well, I'm not really sure why it took, I believe, at least 6 videos, and then I guess also a TikTok Live. Yeah, wow. It took us a while, but we did get there together. Aren't you glad you went on this journey with us? Girlies, if you thought it was over, of course it is not. There's always more. The bride has entered the chat. And honestly, the most hilarious aspect of this part is that it's in the comment section using an account that doesn't even have a profile picture. Because remember, she hasn't posted since 2018 and didn't even want to make these fucking TikToks to begin with. Anyway, she leaves 3 comments. First, we have, I understand you're sorry for your behavior on the day. I forgave you on the day. It wasn't until all of this that I had any animosity towards you. Then we have number 2. Saying you apologize on a public forum and then giving a monologue about your business is not an apology. You have my number. And then 3. You've made several videos already. We know your point of view. It's enough. And to that, I have to say I agree. Literally, when she said she was going to share her point of view, I was like, what are all the videos we just watched? Was that not your point of view? Because I'm pretty sure it was, because it was a vlog of her wedding from your perspective that no one asked for. Anyway, I do think that is it, but, you know, probably missing something. So if there's anything revolutionary that we left out, leave it in the comments below. I hate it here. So frustrating. I think that's why so many people are weighing in on this whole thing, is because she just doesn't seem to get what the problem was, and then is like, I feel like we said this before, where it's like, you said something that happened, and it's like, well, I guess I can't do anything right. And it's like, well, right, no, but yeah. You were doing the things you were supposed to do right, but you just did a bunch of extra stuff that no one asked, and that's what the problem was. We just don't want you to do that. Like, her saying that she thinks that she had something to offer this industry and there was a missing niche, basically. Yeah, absolutely. Do that. And that's why you've been successful. You have not been successful because you're this, like, revolutionary content creator. Drop the thing that no one asked you for.
Yeah, the group survey says enough. No more. Like, that's it. Anyway, that's pretty much it. We went on for quite a while, and hopefully that keeps you up to speed with the newest wedding drama. I'm sure there'll be another one next week. Anyway, I'm so excited for my We Love the Internet.
Oh God, okay.
It comes on the heels of the presidential debate last night. Did you hear Donald Trump talking about how
eating pets?
Everyone in Springfield is eating their pets? Yeah.
I actually was going to get dog food for my pet at the time. Becca had sent me the link, and I'm like sitting listening to it on my like through my Bluetooth in my car, and I'm like hearing him say stuff, and I'm just like, what is happening?
The funniest thing that has come out of it is people playing that sound over their pets, and you need to do it to Max immediately. Anyway, here it is.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that...
If you don't do that to Max
Eating
immediately,
the pets. It's how he
they're
says
eating
it
the
too.
dogs,
I'm like,
and the dog is literally like,
it's like he starts to say something and he sees that it's like not quite landing. So then he's like, oh, dial it up a few notches. And then all of a sudden by the end of it, it's like, what is happening? Calm down. Oh my God. Because honestly, this guy's Trump impression is not even necessarily the mannerisms as much, but all of this, like even what he's saying, I'm like, I absolutely could, he would actually say all this.
I'm here with Kamala! Koalala!
It's just Kamala.
Koalala! Like an animal from the zoo. She's so nasty. Look at it.
Okay, you know what? You're one to talk, all right? We're going to be debating tonight.
She's so small, little Kamala. She'll never beat me because she's a tiny little... tiny person, by the way.
I'm not small. I'm a full-size human being, okay?
And we're debating on a lot of issues. A lot. And quite frankly, I think that healthcare is very good.
Yeah, right.
Everybody should have... Everybody...
I'm speaking. Okay.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Everybody should have health. Everybody.
okay,
I agree.
And some people, the Democratic Party, they don't want health. They want to kill you. They want to put heroin in your head and put you in a tent. REI, that's where they want you to shop, to get a tent.
I love REI. REI.
It's just like, it
hilarious.
sounds so like extreme, but it's also like,
oh no,
it's
totally
not.
on brand.
Like,
Totally
that's
on
absolutely
brand.
like,
the pet thing sounds like something somebody made up to joke about.
genuinely.
And sadly, it is not.
The Democrats want everyone to die. That just is like, I've heard that on Fox News before. I'm like,
I'm probably, yeah,
why?
I'm sure.
Why?
I don't know. Anyway. Well, we'll leave you with that presidential debate goodness. That was a fun night. Anyway, if you made it to the end, we appreciate you very much. We hope you had a wonderful weekend. And as always, we will see you on Friday. Bye.
Not always. Most of the time.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't going to bring that up.
Cheers.